Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games of the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the comrade of this episode, Andrew. With me, our atomic fart, Keith.
Hello.
And with us, the one who would leave a bunch of loot for the next person, Liz.
Hey guys.
And this week, we decided to check out Atomic Heart by Mundfish. Atomic Heart is a first-person shooter where you are in a alternate reality of a 1950s communist Russia where they have advanced in technologies, created a bunch of robots, and created what looks to be a nice utopia. But of course, things go awry. The robots decide to turn against their masters. But going around, Liz, was this a game or pass for you?
This was definitely a game for me. I had a lot of fun. The looting mechanics are pretty stellar. It's a little buggy. Overall, I really enjoyed my time and I looked forward to playing it every day. So definitely a game.
But yeah, I'm with you, Liz. This was a definite game for me. It's not a perfect game. There's definitely some issues, but there is so many things about this game that I think are really, really, really good. So I did have a ton of fun. But yeah, so I would highly recommend this game. This is a definite game for me.
So yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, third it on a game. I will say that the beginning parts are kind of slow, and there are, like you said, there's issues with it, and there's tempo issues where I kind of just wish the game was a little bit faster paced as a whole. But outside of that, I think it's a lot of fun, and yeah, I was definitely enjoying myself. I was actually just playing it right up until we started. So
I semi-agree with you about the pacing, Keith. But I also kind of disagree because it is like, this is a different style of a first-person shooter. It's, as Liz was saying, there's looting. It's kind of a slower, more methodical. A lot of people are, get BioShock vibes from this, and I definitely agree. Like, this is a kind of a slower first-person shooter, but yeah. Getting into the story, as I said, this is an alternate reality of a 1950s communist Russia where I can't tell. I don't think World War II even happened. I don't really hear them mention World War II. They do mention a war and a plague, but essentially Russia is actually kind of advanced in technology. They have a particular scientist who has been able to create robots that essentially do all the tasks for the people in the communist Russia. You have different technologies that are going on that are very advanced. And you play this Sergeant Major who ended up being in an accident that the scientist that created all these robots ended up saving you. So you kind of owe him your life and you will do anything he says. And he is sending you to this remote facility where majority of the robots are made. And as soon as you arrive there, you realize that things aren't as they appear. The robots randomly have decided to turn against all the humans and have just massacred this base. So you are trying to right the wrong, fix the robots before the scientist gets in trouble from the Russian government. So overall, though, I don't know how you guys felt about the story, but I loved the set piece of Atomic Heart. I love that it's kind of like this weird 1950s Russia. I will say with the current political climate, it is kind of awkward, but I love that it's a different kind of pace of you playing this Russian commando. Well, kind of.
Are you? That was my question right off the bat, because you have this very like John Wick, Clint Eastwood, or like you said, Rambo. Like, I don't know, just it was a very American character. I didn't realize that was Russian.
He's written very American. This is, well, first off, my biggest complaint is how awfully written the main character is. The main character is just so poor. It's not even the voice actor. I think the voice actor did fine. It's just a lot of his dialogue is generic American soldier. Like, I actually forgot, like, there's a lot of times I actually would forget that this game is taking place in Russia. I would actually think it was taking place in America because of how American sounding your character is.
Well, what I want to know is that, I mean, he says a lot of funny things and he's like swearing at people. He's very quick to anger. But one thing that he said, and I'm like, I can't imagine them saying this in Russia. It was something along the lines of like, I don't give two wet farts. I've heard that. I just like, do they say that in other countries? Is that just like, I I just can't imagine.
No, only in America do we have the word fart in our vocabulary.
No, but I've never heard like it on like British TV or
Well, they would say bloody
Australian or
farts.
anything.
Two bloody
Oh,
farts,
geez.
yes.
But there are things that he said like, yeah, I can see that, but I never once thought that it seemed like an American character. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I just never thought that when I was playing it.
Yeah. Besides the fact that every once in a while dialogue pops in reminding you that you're from Russia, I would forget a lot of times that this game is supposed to be like taking place in Russia. I think it's so weird how the main character, like, I could care less about the character. You have a talking glove named Charles, who I felt like had more character than the main character. So a robotic glove, I felt like had more personality than your guy.
Well, so it's weird. So the robotic glove, I mean, he's telling you, honestly, like hinting to you that like things are not what they seem and that you're wrong about some things. And he's kind of the voice of reason in this.
Yeah.
And then you have him though, like your character is very much like pro-communism, follow the leader, and the glove isn't. So I wasn't sure if it was kind of like an anti-communism message because, like I said, the voice of reason is giving points against it.
Yeah.
And this is like the actual conversation that's going between the characters. And another thing I didn't like about the main character, which I liked the main character, I thought he was, I chuckled quite a few times. And he reminds me of something that I know with like his like lots and lots of swearing. And so one thing that he said at the beginning, but he said something along the lines of, you have to earn my respect. Like he doesn't give respect to people until they earn it. Until he thinks that they deserve his respect kind of thing. And I was just like, I feel like you should respect everyone until they give you a reason not to, you know? I just like, that was the vibe. That's what he said like right at the beginning of the game. And I was just like, that's not really my vibe.
I mean, I know a lot of people who are like that though. Like they give you like very bare minimum personality until like you earn their respect.
Well, I think that's different with like being like shy or like being like wary, but to be like, you need to earn my respect. It's just like, no, I don't. Absolutely not. I do mean that because like for me, he's not respectful to anyone is what I'm getting at. Like he's like yelling at the robots and calling them stuff I probably shouldn't say on the podcast. He is so rude to people, and it's just like, why would anybody respect you? So that's why like I just right out the gate, it seemed like a very flawed character. The way that he behaves towards other people, but then things that people deserve to, that people should be acting away towards him. I'm just saying that was like initially out of the gate, I was just like, I don't know if this guy seems like a jerk, but I liked him the more the game went on.
Yeah, he definitely got a little bit more personality. I first didn't like him at first because I felt like he was just a massive jerk, especially to the glove. The glove is just doing nothing but being very polite, helping him out. And he's always just like, shut up, glove. You're stupid.
He didn't earn his respect yet, Andrew.
But it's like the thing literally is just doing like, it's essentially like a butler. It's helping him and giving him these special powers.
It's saving his life.
It's saving his life, giving him advice, like helping him out on situations. And he's just a complete jerk to the glove. And it's just like, what did this glove do to you?
Which that's a good point. So he is like just all obsessed with this guy that saved his life and like thinks he can do no wrong. But this glove is saving his life and he's like being mean to him. So it's like, I mean, they did the same thing.
But no, you brought up a good point too, Liz. One thing I loved about this story is it ends up kind of being like a philosophical debate about like the flaws of communism. Because as you said, your main character is very much like the government can't do no wrong. It's the government. And the scientist guy, he saved my life. He obviously is a very good guy, has no flaws. But as you're talking to the glove's kind of like, what about this scenario? And what about this scenario? Like, because the whole premise is the whole premise kind of the story is the next step of communism is that everyone is getting these neural implants and everyone will be on essentially a hive mind called the collective. And it's through this collective program that ends up making the robots go crazy. And so your character is very much like, yes, everyone's going to be on the same like wavelength. Everyone will know everything. We'll be able to communicate with each other. But then your glove is kind of challenging this thought of not everyone is going to be equal. Like there'll still be people in the government that have authority and will have essentially the ultimate power. And so I enjoyed that this game was kind of going through this philosophical debate.
Well, they were also talking about how you can't have people like bickering over important issues. Someone just needs to pick it and move on, kind of thing. And I'm just like, that's a bad idea when it comes to taking care of an entire population, where just like one person gets to tell you what to do. You can't say anything.
Yep. But as far as like the overall story was kind of going though.
No, so the vibe I got from the character is that he didn't even like robots though. So that was part of my confusion with it though, because like that's why he hated his robot hand thing. Like he was just very like anti-technology, I felt like, and that was why he almost enjoyed, I don't know, killing robots, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I thought I actually enjoyed the characters overall. I thought, yes, the writing was a little bit odd. I assume a lot of that had to do with translation, just being from Russian into English. But you were saying you didn't like his little crispy critters line. I thought it was hilarious. I loved crispy critters. It made me chuckle every time.
What? So yeah, his tagline is crispy critters. Like this is like. I'm sorry, I would never depict a Russian commando picking crispy critters as his like tagline. It's not a cool yippee-ki-yay or, hasta la vista or I'll be back. No, he picks crispy critters. Like, it's such a weird catchphrase.
Maybe because it's in such contrast with the way he talks the rest of the game, where you don't think that a guy that's swearing at everybody and like threatening people and stuff would actually like say crispy critters. So maybe that's the joke.
Maybe. I feel like it would have been better if he said something like wowie zowie, like something just, like it was just so weird sounding. It was so jarring every time he said it too. Because like you would go into a room and there's just dead bodies everywhere and he's just like, oh, crispy critters. It's like, what? What is this catchphrase?
I feel like the first time he said it was when he went into the fire area.
No, first time he said it was at the war memorial that you first go to at the beginning.
Okay.
That's remember when first time I heard it.
Oh, so was it World War II then?
No, it's some other type of. I'm pretty sure it's some other war. I don't remember. I never remember hearing anyone ever say World War II.
No, it's interesting because I didn't like. Now that you say it, I don't remember that either. Like I remember them talking about like I don't remember. It was one of the
her reference of a brown plague was the thing that wiped out a lot of people, and then
what are the little trinket things? Not Twitters. It's something.
The chirpers?
Yeah, the chirpers. Yeah, there was one of them. He talks about marching to Berlin in the Great War or something along those lines. So it was like World War I happened, and my history is terrible, but the Russians fought the Germans in World War I, so then they would have won, and I think it would have like prevented World War II from happening in theory in an alternate universe, I guess. So I think you're right that World War II never happened, but it like didn't even occur to me until you said it.
Yeah, because I mean, one of the characters that you're kind of helping, they call him a Kraut, so he's supposed to be German, and I'm assuming if World War II happened, you wouldn't be having this heavy German character like deep in the research aspect of the game.
Well, I was wondering,
like at the base.
Is that why you're kind of an American? Like, are you actually an American, or is it just a weird voice acting thing?
No, I think it's a weird voice acting thing because you have a very Russian name.
Okay. Because I feel like there was like people with Scottish accents. And then your robot kind of had like a British accent. And I know it's a robot, but it has a British accent. And so everybody's not Russian.
That's a really good point. Like, why not have like a Russian accent with your main character?
It is kind of odd because even to the commander, the big politician, which I love that his name's Molotov. It's like Commander Molotov. But he does have a Russian accent. Like literally no one really has a Russian accent, which it is kind of an odd choice to be like, this game's in Russia, but no one has an accent.
Well, one of the robots has an accent. The like welcome robot, she has an accent. But anyways.
Oh yeah.
So there are Russian accents. That's where it really got me. There are Russian accents. There are non-Russian accents. There are just so many things. It doesn't make sense.
It is kind of a weird melting pot. I actually tried switching the language to Russian because this is a Russian developer, so the game base language was meant to be Russian. And I will say the voice acting, it sounded way better. But I obviously didn't want to be playing a kind of action first-person shooter and reading subtitles at the same time while I'm shooting people. So I only did it for a while, but I did notice it sounded better. But one thing I want to complain about with the story, though, you mentioned it a little bit at the beginning there, Keith. The beginning is such a slog in this game. You cannot skip any of the cutscenes, and the beginning is very much like exposition of like, this is the utopia. These are the robots. You're walking around, seeing some people, a parade's going on. It is such a long segment. That thing could have easily been cut in half.
And there's no tutorial. It's not like, oh, this is where you learn to jump.
Yeah.
Hit A to jump over this post that fell down. It's just like, no, you're just walking.
The tutorial is awful in this game. I thought I was just stupid. There's one part very early in the game, your glove gets an upgrade where you can scan things. I was mashing my controller. I'm like, how the heck do I activate the scanner? I Googled
Me
it.
too.
I ended up telling you, but I Googled it. And then eventually I saw someone saying like, oh, you got to hit the right bumper twice to do the scanner. And even too, if you go to the Microsoft store and click on this game, a lot of people are giving this game like a 1-star or 2-star rating because they're saying this game doesn't tell you how to use the scanner. So I'm luckily not the only person who struggled.
Which it is essential in this game.
Yeah. Because I thought I just skipped the text that told me, there's no way to bring the text back up, and there was no way to look. So yeah, I had to Google how to use the stinking scanner.
Yeah, it definitely told you like right at the beginning. I didn't use it as much as I should have.
But I didn't say like hit it and then hold, or like maybe it did and I just didn't understand what it was saying.
Yeah, same here.
But
I did.
I remember reading the instructions and trying it and being like, why isn't this working? So the instructions at the very least weren't clear because I did read them.
And if you press A, you can't go back to it.
I thought it wouldn't let you get past that sequence unless you did it because it like wanted you to scan something. Maybe not.
Yeah, you do have to stay there until you do it. So that's why, I mean,
it took me like 5 minutes. I'm literally like walking around trying to figure out how to stinking scan stuff.
Oh, so actually, I'm pretty sure it's in one of the tooltips. I don't know. It said something about it. Eventually every Soviet citizen will be able to, or will be told what to do using buttons displayed on the screen in front of them or something like that. Yeah. And so that's another thing about this game. Like you were talking about the dialogue between your character and the robot, and they're kind of chippy with each other, and it's kind of funny at times. The dialogue in the game, and really just a lot of it, I feel like walks this weird line of trying to be comedic, but being very serious at the same time. And I liked it, but I also kind of was bothered by it because it didn't make sense. Like, does that make sense?
I see where you're kind of going. It definitely was trying to kind of make light of the situation in some parts. I mean, I think that's why they picked "Crispy Critters" as the tagline, because I felt like that was trying to be comedic of how goofy of a tagline it was. But I don't know. It never bothered me. If anything, it made it more enjoyable because I will say the game. I love the banter. I at least like that your character and the glove are talking a lot, but not like obtrusively. But it definitely was at least filling the silence and still progressing the story.
And they give hints, which is really nice. So there were times where like I was so busy looting that I wasn't really doing the mission. They're like, oh, I really need to figure out a way to get over there. So I actually like that they had that too. But I feel like there was a lot of repeating of like, oh, wow, another locked door. How many times does he say that?
Oh, he just complains about that constantly, about another lock, another different type of lock, like all of those different
But I also don't blame him because I was kind of complaining about it too. You go to a room and they're like, you have to find these 4 balls. You have to find these canisters every single time. Now you got to find these body parts. It was so blaringly like obnoxious of like how much the game was doing that your character was making kind of like meta jokes about of like, I have to kick more canisters.
The only ones I liked were the ones that there were 3 colors and you had to switch them around so that they like fit the corresponding color outside. You look confused.
The lock picking puzzle.
Yeah, and then I hated the clicky ones. Were so like I was so bad at them at first that I feel like I'm wasting my time. And then I eventually got better at it, but there were sometimes I looked up the walkthrough. The disc ones, you're like, oh, those are super easy. I'm like, is there like a method? And then you kind of told me, and I was doing it, and I just did it until it came up right. Like, I just didn't get it.
Your descriptions of things, it's very confusing. You're talking about the lasers, the last one, right?
The round discs, the door, the locks. We're talking about
locks. Yeah, trying to match lasers.
There's 3 lasers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one. Okay.
Yeah.
You just.
I'm sorry.
Your descriptions were very confusing.
I feel like we know I'm bad at explaining things. I'm just saying some of the locks I just didn't get, and I knew that I should, and others I really did enjoy.
Yeah. See, I hated, collecting these canisters felt like busy work. I enjoyed the puzzles, like you said, Liz. You know, when you're doing a lock-picking puzzle, you kind of have like 3. You have one that's super simple of you just kind of rotating an actual lock that you're like trying to pick, very simple. But then, there's ones where you're clicking a light. And then there's, the ones you were saying where you just kind of like match these colors. They're very kind of simple. But I enjoyed the puzzles. But there's unfortunately not a lot of them. Like, you're doing the same 4 or 5 different types of puzzles over and over again.
See, there were some that I was just like, I don't want this right now. I'm having fun. It's just like, it's stopping it.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I think
description of it.
Yeah, I think sometimes they're fun, but then sometimes it's just like, okay, there's too many in this section. I want to move on.
Yeah, because you technically can't fail. If you fail, it just goes, do it again.
And also, if it's locked,
it is just slowing you down.
If it's locked from the other side, you don't have to have a lock. Just make it so that I can only open it from that side.
Yeah.
And something that you brought up earlier, Andrew, with not knowing how to do things, I remembered that I didn't realize that, because I was like, why do I not have enough bullets? And at one point I was only making a couple because I'm like, I'm just going to have to use my melee and have these just in case because I don't want to waste my resources. I didn't realize that everything you're picking up that isn't in your inventory goes to storage. Like, I didn't know that. Because, like, usually in games, it's like, oh, you're overburdened. You need to get rid of stuff. I mean, it is my fault because, like, I didn't really explore too much when you go to, like, the crafting station. Yeah. But I went there and I was like, I have so many bullets and health and all the things. Lots of vodka. And so, for me, I just, like, I felt like an idiot. And then after that, I was using my guns so much, and I had so much fun with it.
Well, I was going to ask, what difficulty did you play on, Liz?
I did easy.
Okay. And Andrew, you said you did medium?
I did normal. Yeah, I did normal. I wish I did hard. The fact that I knew I couldn't skip cutscenes, I didn't want to start over again because I didn't want to do that 30-minute long intro again. So I was like, screw it.
I mean, you can skip a lot of the dialogue, actually, because there was definitely...
You can skip the dialogue, but you can't skip cutscenes.
Oh, that's true. That is true. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed that... And it looks like you can change the difficulty mid-game. I don't think you'd get the achievement for it, but no, I did see you could change the difficulty, and I didn't try to because I didn't really care. Well, yeah, I didn't really care to. But I did find it was... I don't want to say disappointingly easy, because there was a couple things I ran into some struggle with, but really, all in all, it was, I don't know.
So you did normal, Keith?
Yeah.
See, I got into trouble when I picked fights or when I was trying to get the achievement for running people over and it alerted everybody in the area. Overall, like, I don't think it was crazy. I think that easy was good for me because there were some moments that were, like, a little far. There's one time that I did not like the robot that had, like, the big eyes. When you scan him, he's white. He only turns red if you attack him. And he had, like, a guy strung up, and the guy was like, I hate that he's just looking at me. I'm giving good descriptions here, Andrew.
Yeah, I have no idea what robot you're describing.
It's like a chubby...
Oh, you're talking about...
chubby robot.
I think they were the alchemists,
They walk
maybe?
funny, like this.
They had
they're chubby.
I do know the one you're talking about, Liz.
Okay, thank you. Well, anyways, there was something about them that was really creepy. And so there's one time that I was like, do you know what? I need to start killing them. I don't like them. I picked on one, and then all the doors closed, and then I had all the robots. All the robots attacked me, and I was like, yep, I deserve that. But I feel like
what robots
they were. I want to say they were either engineers or alchemists or something. And I think they were one of the first real humanoid ones that you run into.
Was the train guy one?
Yeah, they kind of look the same as the train guy ones.
They kind of look like the train guy.
Yes.
with the
Okay.
big eyes.
Yes. Those ones are actually non-hostile, so they only attack.
That's what
you
Liz was
if you
saying.
attack
No,
them.
That's exactly what Liz
yeah,
said.
but
She
no.
would pick fights with them.
But they are hostile because they were killing people in there.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so for me, it's just like if I know that one killed people, and also like give me the parts. You're a murderous robot. I'm gonna take it.
They had good loot on them, so that was kind of the trade-off. They were a difficult enemy, but they had good loot on them. But to real quick kind of go over how the gameplay is, as we said, it's a first-person shooter, but this game actually more focuses on melee combat. So it's slightly kind of a survival game where you got to kind of conserve your ammunition because you're fighting mostly melee robots who don't have guns. So you're just kind of finding ammo through containers that you're looting, which the looting system is very nice in this game. It's essentially a vacuum. You literally put your hand out and just suck up things that you just kind of move your cursor around and suck up things in cabinets and stuff like that.
But sometimes it's not accurate, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
So
it's sometimes a little buggy.
There are times where like it shows blue, but there actually isn't anything there, or like the things that have the emails. There's one that wouldn't let me read it, but it came up blue.
Yeah.
And it had the screen and everything, and isn't there an achievement for that too?
I don't think so.
Not really
Reading all
emails.
those?
No.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think once I realized that, I kind of gave up on the emails. It's more just background lore.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But weapons too aren't also very prominent. You have to go to these crafting stations to create the weapons, and since you're crafting these weapons, they're kind of homemade looking. You do have an AK, a pistol, but then you have like an electric gun, you have like a rail gun, you have these guns that really kind of look like they're cobbled together. And ammo, of course, like I said, it's very scarce. You can create more ammo with the resources that you're finding. But one thing I really enjoyed with this combat, I loved the melee. I don't know, I'm more focused on the melee. Like I had a ton of ammo for my guns, which I love the guns too, because the guns all feel very powerful. Even the pistols can actually take these robots pretty quickly. But I just loved the melee combat. It's pretty simple because you have a dash, and the enemies will telegraph if they're going to be doing a heavy hit, so you have to kind of dash out of the way. But I don't know about you guys. I found the melee very fun.
I don't like that when it comes to crafting, I think there's only like one recipe per the entire game. Because there's one that you told me for the melee weapon that I should get, and you're like, oh, it's in this area, but I must have missed it. But
No.
I never found it again.
I think you can still stumble upon some blueprints of weapons.
Oh, okay. I was curious about that. But I did love the melee, but the guns I didn't like were the ones like the electric one, like the chill one.
The electric pistol was one of my favorites because it had unlimited ammo.
Oh, I like the ammo guns.
And it recharged with melee, so you could kind of just open up a fight with a bunch of melee shot or electric shots. Whatever you didn't take out, come in melee, and then clear up with the electric. That's oh no, I did have the pistol, so I broke down the shotgun. And
Really?
Yeah. So I know it's super powerful. I just broke it down because I wanted to use the parts for other things. I wanted to dump it into melee and whatnot. Which do we mention that how you can break down things at no penalty?
No, I was going to mention that.
Okay.
Which is
though.
fantastic.
Because that's what I was going to go into is because of the fact that one of the nice things about this game, and it kind of makes it not super survival-ish, is that when you break down the weapons or really break down anything, it's at full cost. So I figured, I don't know, worst case, I don't like this build without my shotgun, and I could just break down whatever I built and go back to the shotgun. So that was the reason I did it. And I ended up going with the main axe, the pistol, and
Swede.
the Swede, I don't know, the other two, the pistol and then the electro, the MP and the electro. And yeah, it was very effective. Honestly,
the
I had
shotgun?
more than enough bullets than I needed. And I was having a pretty good time on the fights for the most part.
I feel like the shotgun was the best gun. I mean, it really whittled down a lot of the big guys.
Yeah.
It was just too slow
sucked to
for me.
load.
Yeah, it was just too slow, and that's what I didn't like. Because I found that while the fights weren't overly difficult, the robots did move fairly quickly. Like even ones you wouldn't expect to move quick, like the little saws on wheels. Like they were on wheels, but those things would come whipping at you.
Yeah.
And so you kind of had to move quick on your feet. So I didn't like the shotgun. I mean, I did, but I preferred the other weapons. Because another thing, just a nice little tip for you, because if you go into the settings menu, there is an auto aim or aim assist. So if you want to make your aiming just a little bit easier, even if you're not playing on an easy difficulty like I did, throw that aim assist on and it makes your shooting that much easier.
Thanks. I think I saw that. I think I have mine off. Or
Yeah,
I think I've there's one for like auto aim and one for like aim assist.
I thought
There's like a lower version, I thought.
I don't know. I think it was just one, but I think the default is to off. Like a lot of games actually tend to auto assist on, but this one doesn't. So I turned it on, and it was, yeah, like I said, it was nice. And it didn't make it feel like, oh my goodness, this game is just completely easy now, but it made it feel a little bit smoother.
See, I agree with you, Keith, where I felt like this game was easy, but not super easy, because there were still times where I'm getting overconfident. I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever, I'm just gonna pick these fights and get swarmed very quick and would die. So like this game would still give me a challenge. Like this wasn't a game I was just rolling through like, oh, it's just easy cake. Every once in a while, like, you know, there's some boss fights you go to, which the boss fights were pretty cool, and yeah, it would just, some of them would just floor me, and it's just like, oh, okay, wasn't expecting that. So yeah, this game, I think it still has its difficulty spikes to give you this challenge, and you know, you're just not sleeping at the wheel and just swinging away at everything. But I do wish I played on a harder difficulty. Oh, my go-tos though, I absolutely loved. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was the iconic melee weapon that you kind of see in some of the pictures. It's literally a baseball bat with like 2 saw blades on it. It's called like the Zavosky or something like that.
I thought it was called like the Frostbite or something.
No, that's a different one.
Oh, okay.
Are you thinking of the Snowball?
Yeah, the Snowball was one I'm thinking.
Snowball was a mace. This one's a baseball bat with saw blades on it.
Okay.
Each melee weapon, there's a handful of them. I think there's like 5 different melee weapons you can do.
Yeah, the Fox was one that I tried. That's like
the Fox was like the cleaver.
Yep.
Like the hatchet. Yeah, I did that one. I didn't care for that one. The Snowball, was the mace. The Swede was the fire axe. There was a sword one. But yeah, the baseball bat was my favorite because each one of these two has kind of a special move. Like the Swede, you can actually like your character literally spins around and just swings the axe, and you can like decapitate enemies. But the baseball bat one, you actually send the saw blade out, and it just zips around the room and it's a ranged attack. It just continuously zips around the room and hacks at everyone. Super awesome. But it was a very strong weapon. It had a great range, great attack speed. That was always my favorite. But I actually liked the MP, the regular pistol, because it was really good at headshots, and there's an achievement for the headshots with it. But it was the most accurate. I didn't care for the AK. I thought the recoil on the AK was really aggressive. But all these weapons though, I felt were just like really unique and fun, and I loved how powerful the actual like ammo guns felt. Even though like you have melee combat, but you can use these pistol guns, like the actual ammo guns, and they packed a wallop. But what did you guys think of the boss fights?
So
this is a very long game. I know we probably only scratched the surface. We only played a handful of boss fights, but
yeah, I think I only really got to one. I think I only did Hedgie.
No, you did the large mutant.
Oh, that was a boss?
Yeah, because it had a health bar and a name.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I guess I fought 2 of them. The large mutant wasn't that interesting. I just thought it was a big mutant, and I don't know, pumped it with a bunch of shotgun bullets, and it died. The Hedgie, I think it could have been difficult. I don't know. I did the achievement for it. I think you did too, the one where you don't actually shoot it.
Use only melee weapons and have it destroy all the statues.
Oh, I didn't know I could use melee weapons. I literally didn't take a shot at it at all. I just had it attack the statues. So it took me probably 5 or 6 tries.
It took me 2.
Well, yeah, like I said, I didn't know I could melee it. I don't know if that would have helped it go faster, but
no, because said, once it kills the statues, it dies.
Yeah. So anywho, I did that. Took me a handful of turns, but outside of that, I didn't get to any other bosses. But that's the thing is, I think it's largely all playtime. Like I don't think any of it's like pause time, quick resume time. I was at like 16 hours in this game, and
whoa,
yeah, I know. I was slow through some parts. What part in particular I hated, and I'm curious your thoughts on it, was the platforming. That was the one thing about this game that I absolutely despised from a gameplay standpoint.
Why?
I just thought it was bad. I didn't think like the register for jumping near the edge of ledges, the amount of times I would try to jump off a ledge and I would just run off it and like not be able to boost. Like I didn't care for it, and they just felt like they would drag on and on. Whereas,
Did you get to the cloud part where you have to like do the maze, then you jump on the clouds?
I didn't get to that. I did the magnet one. Sounds like it's kind of the same. Maybe not.
Were you talking about the training grounds?
Yes, the one where you had to move the magnets up and down.
Yeah.
And I was just doing one of them where you have to like rotate the things around. It was my least favorite thing about the game. I wanted more combat. I wanted more battles, but I wanted less platforming for sure.
I like the platforming. I do agree with you, Keith. Some of it was inconsistent because your character is supposed to grab on ledges and pull himself up. But yeah, sometimes he wouldn't. And then sometimes I felt like he was overly doing it. But yeah, you mid-air dash, so you kind of have like this ability to kind of give yourself a little bit of boost in the air. But I always felt like the platform segments were short. Like those magnet rooms you were talking about, when you're rotating the magnets and shifting these platforms, it was usually a very quick segment. And that's what I liked about it. They weren't something that were dragged on, like, oh, here's an hour segment of you moving blocks.
Yeah, I know it wasn't that long, but I don't know. I think the one that really set me off in particular was the one where you had to move the big yellow canister of pesticide.
Liz struggled with that.
That one gave me fits.
I did not find that hard at all.
There was like one or two things in particular about it. Well, for one, it took me, I don't know, a good 5 minutes to probably realize that little spinning tube, I had to go around, like inside a room and around to outside of another door. I was trying to jump across from other platform. I was like, I'm going to do this. And so I would just fall, jump, repeat, jump, fall, repeat for, I don't know, like I said, about 5 minutes. And I was just getting increasingly angry with it.
Well, I think too with this game, I felt like you were actually jumping the way a person would, and I feel like we play so many games where you just have so much extra jump. So for me, I thought it was actually kind of cool. It felt a little clunky, even though I don't think it was, and I enjoyed the platforming. There was a couple times I got frustrated where you have like those like super high walls, and if you fall over and you have to like reclimb everything, I found that frustrating, but.
Liz, are you saying you could dash in midair?
See, that was going to be my
thing.
No,
but when you're
trying to be sassy.
Dash, the dash in this game is really like you're jumping forward. And if you do leap forward, you do go faster than if you jump up.
No.
So, I mean, the dash was barely there.
It's not at
I'm
all
sorry.
how dash works in this game.
The dash was like barely a thing.
I mean,
I use dash a lot.
Like
so if a boulder's coming at you, you're going to dash to the right.
Yeah,
but
I'm not going to
walk. You might dive. Diving is different from dashing.
And I might dash or dive, but I'm not going to jump and then dash or dive. Because once I've jumped, I don't have the ability to control physics in midair and
feel
dash
like the
forward.
movement is the same, though. Like, if you were going to jump out of the way really fast, you'd go the speed that he did, is what I was saying.
Well, so my thing is this, and this is where, not even trying to be sassy, I'm okay with the game making a semi-realistic human jump if we're talking about a semi-realistic human character, say Sea of Thieves, say a survival game. This is a game where I have a dash, I can jump from 40 feet in the air, I'm like a super soldier. I would like to jump more than 2 feet. Is all I'm saying. Because I don't even think I'm, in theory, a character like a Master Chief with a big old armor suit. I'm just kind of a dude running around. I don't know. You don't see yourself.
Dude, though. You have more weight to lift up. Like, if you see pictures of people, like, you know, that, like, when where all the family jumps up at the same time, a lot of them can't jump very high. It's like a couple inches. Like, they literally just, like, jump, like, an inch and then lift their legs because they can't jump.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's like... the fact that it's a normal jump.
But he's not a normal human being. That's my point. He is a superhuman being, and I still think he's a robot, unless someone has proved this otherwise. And people have beaten.
But he's not a basketball player. You know what I mean? He's like, if you're creating a robot, are you thinking like, I really want him to be able to jump really high?
I'm just saying. I'm fairly certain if you're gonna get into some sort of, special forces, and they see that you can only jump about, 2 feet off the ground or 2 inches off the ground, they're going to go, maybe you don't have the athleticism necessary for this type of thing. And again, if you can dash in midair, that's just a thing that you can defy the laws of physics already. Give me a solid jump.
One thing that I think is kind of weird, though, speaking of the dash, though, is they don't explain it. But this game, like, explains just about everything else. Like, I thought this game would be like, oh, you have these jet boots that kind of give you a dash. But they don't. They just you have a dash. But, like, they even explain your backpack. Like, your character, like, the glove says, like, oh, yeah, your backpack can, like, kind of shrink things down to a molecular level. This is why you can carry multiple guns in your backpack and ammo. Like, they explain that. But they don't explain that your character can kind of do this weird dash. Like, it's just like, we'll just ignore that.
Just do it.
Yeah. But I guess, too, then if you have jet boots, then I guess, you would be jumping higher and, maybe doing some sort of hover moves and stuff like that. But
give me a cool backflip.
I just realized something we forgot to talk about.
What?
Very important part of this story. Granny Zelda.
Oh, Granny Z. Or, no, what was it?
I thought it was Zelda. Xena.
Yeah.
She had a Russian accent.
Yep, she did.
Yep. Why was I thinking so? Yeah, no, but I thought she was great, and I love that she had to keep rescuing him, and I there's something about her character. I wanted more of.
Oh, and I'm sure
Xena.
There's going to be plenty more. Oh, I guess for context, this game is actually a pretty long game. Yeah, you're looking between 16 to 23 hours. So it's a pretty long, focused single-player game. So we obviously try to play as much as we can before we record, but me and Liz are almost like exactly at the same spot. We're probably about halfway.
Oh,
Or
I
maybe
thought it was
1/3.
further.
I actually probably maybe 1/3.
So I'm wondering if it's a lot of. So you keep getting a mission and then doing the same. You have the same objective, and that's happening a lot. So I'm like, are you just doing the whole thing, the game? Like you're trying to get somebody. I'm trying not to give things away. So is that the whole game? Like you catch up to him and then he gets away? And then
because I haven't beaten it. None of us have beaten this game, so we're kind of making speculations here.
Well, I mean, I assume like you would know more about it because I didn't really know anything about when we started. But
I
for me,
didn't want to research because I want to beat this game. So
I really want to know if it's going to be like that the whole game because I also something that I thought was interesting. It looked like at the beginning, it looked like some type of stroller or like. In other countries, when they like a pram, like it looks like one that I've seen like in England and stuff.
The baby strollers?
Yeah, but they're a specific type. They're like,
yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess like maybe that's what old fashioned ones look like. I don't know. I still see them in like British shows and stuff, and they always call them a pram. But I saw one of those. But you really don't see a lot of civilians in the street that aren't like
murdered.
Military. So how
you do you do see women in like normal clothes. I saw a couple.
But you don't see a lot. Like,
No.
I feel like this is probably a bustling area. But I just thought it was very tasteful of them not to show.
Dead babies.
I wasn't going to say.
Well, it was really good they decided to go tasteful and not show dead babies with a weird, rapey refrigerator robot. Yeah. So it was good they went tasteful on that one.
Oh, yeah, in the pervy crafting station.
Yeah, that's
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the real rapey refrigerator.
That was uncomfortable. I didn't want that.
You guys did like the refrigerator?
No,
I thought
it was very
a little
crude.
bit much. It was, and like if I was playing High on Life, okay, fine, whatever. I chuckle along, and that fits. But that's where the writing. I don't want to say it was all over the place because it wasn't that bad, but it didn't fit. And it was so weird. And I get that it was only, a couple of times or something, whatever it is. It's so weird and unnecessary. And I didn't
And
care
he
for
didn't
it.
like it. The main character did not like that she was coming on to him. He was very disgusted by her.
Yeah, it
Which,
was just
again,
weird.
His personality is all over the place. Like the way that he talks, you'd think that he wouldn't be offended by that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting too. And you have to bring up. So something that gameplay wise I want to bring up is the bugginess of the game.
Yeah.
And so for me, I had to like completely get out of the game a couple times and start over. Luckily, the save is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it happened like when I wasn't by a save station and it actually saved. And I think that's phenomenal because there are a lot of save stations. But one happened when I was on a cliff. My character got stuck. I got video of it. My legs were moving, but I couldn't do anything. I tried everything. I tried, melee weapons,
I got
jumping.
stuck a handful of times.
Another time I got stuck in the elevator, and it wasn't one of the cutscene elevators. I was just going up one floor, and I could see, like, when I did the right bumper, I could see like the loot around me and everything, but the doors would not open. And so I waited a while because I was like, I don't want to lose all my progress. I didn't lose it. So A+ for that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a bug, at least it's a good bug.
It is the one saving grace to it, because I had a couple of times too where I just got stuck in place for whatever reason, and I had to close out of it. But outside of that, I don't think I really ran into anything too severe. I think there was one other small weird thing I noticed, but other than that, yeah, it was mostly fine.
Yeah, I first got nervous because when you're playing this game, they're like, oh, this is a save station, and playing games nowadays, I do not like when a game has a save station. Like, you can only manually save. So it's like, crap, this is going to suck. But then I noticed that, it still was auto-saving, as Liz is saying.
And frequently, too.
Yeah, because the other thing that was making me nervous, too, is like, oh, is this not going to be in a good xCloud game? Like, do you have to keep doing these save stations? But no, surprisingly, I played this game mostly on xCloud, actually, during this week, and it worked very well. Because you don't have to be super twitchy with a lot of the commands and stuff, and it worked well.
It was good because, this is a game that we didn't want to play in front of our toddler.
Which is
so
understandable.
you did not play it on my Xbox.
Yeah.
And I feel like whenever you put your account on my Xbox and play the same game that I usually lose progress.
Yeah.
And so that was actually really helpful.
But I wanted to go back to one of your points that you brought up, Liz, about like the dead citizens going around. One thing I kind of want to praise with this game, it's kind of a weird thing to praise about it, but I liked the amount of dead bodies that were in this game. It's like, let me explain, because just saying it sounds weird.
That's a little weird.
I feel like whenever you play a game that has some sort of like utopia world of people getting killed, I feel like most games are just like, oh, the first 5 minutes, oh, look at this death and destruction that went around, and then it's just kind of forgotten. Like, even like playing like something like Doom or BioShock back in the day, like you'll see like the beginning area, like, oh yeah, here's all these bodies. But then the game kind of forgets that this whole world was supposed to be lived in. And I felt like seeing still constant carnage wherever you were going did keep reminding me that, yes, this was a functional place. People lived here. People worked here. And I did see citizens, because you do go to like neighborhoods.
No, I did see some.
Yeah.
I was more saying like I didn't see a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that they had to keep showing dead people because the dead can talk. I mean, obviously you can't talk to every corpse, but a lot of them can. So you can't just have talking corpses and everybody else is just, gone.
Which,
but it's even like the blood on the walls too.
Yeah, which goes, the talking corpses once again goes back to kind of Keith's saying of how this game kind of gets weird with its comedic moments. I don't know if did you guys get to the talking body that gave you whale facts?
Yes. Oh, he was great.
It was just like, whale fact number one.
That's the thing. You can be patient and nice to the dead people, or you can select the kind of like rude.
I gotta go rude option, yeah.
But there's also like that girl that like her boyfriend broke up with her and she was like, I wanted to die today anyways, but now I don't want to die or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like moments like that too. We were just like, and the tour guide with the kids that was like, oh, I want to know if like the teenagers like made it. And it's just like, I would maybe consider lying. Be like, they're all fine. Because like she's going to be in her mind for days. And like,
instead of varied, it's that some were minutes, some were days, some were months. So
but the fact that she was still there and a lot of them were like fading away or had PTSD or whatever. But still, there were a lot of situations where I was just like, I wish there was an option to do that maybe.
Well, could you actually help them at all? Because there was one in particular. I thought he said something about lifting something off of him. And you're like, yeah, I'll do that. But it didn't say how to do that or anything. So like it felt like it was a side quest, but no indication that I could actually do
he
anything.
said, put me out of my misery. I tried hitting him and shooting him and stuff, and nothing happened. He still talked.
I don't know. Because I ended up just skipping a lot of their dialogue. I would like talk to them to. I don't think I was gonna ever come close to that achievement, but I was at least just like talking to them to talk to them, and then I was skipping all of the dialogue.
No, they are like, it's weird. They are side quests, but they're pointless side quests. Like Liz was saying, the tour guide one, she wants you to find all the students. I found the students, and you tell her, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, they all died."
No
She goes,
achievement.
yeah, no achievement. She goes, "Oh, that stinks." And your character, like, you can make the joke of like, "Oh, that's it. I thought I was gonna get maybe an access code or some sort of reward." And she's like, "No, I'm dead. I can't give you anything." And I was just like, okay, well, that's kind of a slap in the face. Like, thanks for doing the side quest. And you get nothing.
And it's weird. So, yeah, it's like it goes back to the game just kind of poking fun at itself for, I don't know, kind of leading you down these dead end trails.
You know, which is weird because it's not funny. Like, if it actually pissed me off. Like, hey, we're gonna like, you know, show in your face that we're not giving you anything about it. It was like I said, it was like the same with the canisters, of the guy constantly being like, "Oh, more canisters." It's like, yeah, talking about it doesn't make it funny. It just makes me more irritated that I'm getting these stinking canisters.
I probably wouldn't have honestly noticed it if you didn't keep saying it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Liz, I cut you off.
Maybe it's like creative differences though. Like maybe like someone was like, we should have achievements for this, and the person's like, no, and they're like, well, I'm in charge of writing, so screw you. So maybe it was something like that.
Maybe, but one thing that's least nice though, once again talking about the dead bodies, at least none of the, I will say the gore in this game isn't bad. Like, you'll see bloody walls like that, but every single body you see is perfectly intact.
It doesn't have to be. You can hack them to bits.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
but I mean it's not overly gory. I wouldn't say that it is.
Why were you doing it?
I don't know. I didn't know if maybe I'd get some loot or something, or maybe
I did it once. But see if there's any loot. Let me chop this guy's leg off. Is there any loot in here?
He just like,
you know,
eats
like
metal.
In Zelda, you have to break the pots to get the rupees. Chop his leg off.
Hello, treasure.
Maybe some biomaterials or something. I don't know.
But yeah, I at least like you're not going around and seeing just like massive grotesqueness of like just people being ripped apart. Every body was perfectly intact. It's just, you're just seeing gray bodies. But I loved the overall like environment world of the atmosphere. I will say, when you're getting into some of the facilities, you're kind of going through kind of generic empty corridors.
You have the same cabinets. And...
Yeah. But I loved, anytime you're outside, I think what the game really shines. Because graphically, I love the graphics of this game. I think the robot designs are super cool. They definitely look like they'd be a 1950s because they're very like a stoic face of just a mustache, super creepy. The animations
I did like
top
the mustache.
Oh, yeah. I did not like them.
Oh,
no,
I
would
run. It made them creepy because like when they're running at you, the robots' heads are like still. So even when they're climbing stuff, they're constantly like staring at you while their body is moving.
Yeah,
love the animations.
Did you know? Oh, sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Did you notice the eyes on what's her? I don't know her name. The like, again, like the tour guide robot. There's
the female mannequin. Yeah, I don't know their names, but yeah.
As she's talking to you, if you move around, her eyes follow you, and it's kind of creepy because again, her head doesn't move, but just her eyes do until you move to a certain point. Then she turns, and then you can kind of keep going, and her eyes just shift. It's like a weird thing.
Yeah, this game graphically is so awesome. The other thing too is the damage. When you're doing melee, like it actually does physical slashes in the robots or the organic things that you're hitting, whether you can hit animals and it'll cut them. But I actually loved the graphics was awesome. I think the design of this world is just absolutely phenomenal.
Well, you could get headshots on the robots with the melee too, which I liked, and you could like aim to chop their heads off.
Yep. Yeah, you could like knock their arms off, their limbs. Like the damage in it was very realistic. But no, Liz, there was some chickens. Did the chicken ever fight you?
No, they never attacked me.
Yeah, if you go near chickens, they attack you.
I walked by them all the time, and they never attacked. They showed up red, so I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to attack them.
Yeah, but they'll fight you.
One thing I'm surprised you didn't bring up with graphics, though, is so I felt like the people looked pretty good. The facial hair was really
facial hair
bad.
wasn't great. Yeah.
Like I think that was honestly the worst graphics of the game was the facial hair. It was just like way too thick. Like the individual hairs were too thick, so
Yeah.
it just looked weird. But one thing I want to say with the graphics, good wise, the ballerina twins.
Oh yeah.
So they put way more effort graphically into them than I feel like the entire game. And I like somebody actually. This is jumping ahead, but somebody actually gave the game a 0 and just wrote, they offered us 6 hours of scenes with the twins and they weren't even 30 seconds like in the game. So like they were upset that there weren't any more sexual ballerinas in the game. And I just think it's funny that like there was definitely like a weirdly sexual thing with them, and they put a ton of money into creating them.
You should see what the mod community has already done with them. I've already seen a handful of mods of them.
Yeah, I just think it's really weird how people became so obsessed with it and then were disappointed that there's not more of them. But yeah, they did look stunning.
They did. But yeah, I think like the robot designs are just all overall around are just really cool. Because each one of these robots too are supposed to be like, oh, this helps, like one's good for, being a butler, one's good for chopping wood, one's good for like doing your hedges. So they're very kind of, they look like they could have a functional purpose, but now they're just psychotic and look just murderous.
But what does the mustache guy do? What's his job?
Oh, he was a general servant, so he was kind of like a butler. Yeah.
I would never this is in other movies too where robots end up being servants for people and bad stuff happens. I would never want a robot
With a
like
mustache?
that. With a mustache, but also just, I mean, if it's a tiny robot, that's different. But if it's like a man size, like he's man size and he's metal, like I can't take that guy out. I don't want him in my house.
Would you put like a clown face on him then or something like that? To make you
No,
feel more
I
comfortable?
wouldn't want a robot. I would rather do my own dishes. That's how I feel about it. You saying you'd be comfortable? Would you guys want a man-sized robot knowing that something like this could happen?
Well, I mean, I guess not if you put that into perspective of this. But I mean, no. I mean, I probably wouldn't want a full life-size human robot. I think a Roomba's good for me.
Andrew scares me all the time because he's so stealthy. Like even if I know he's in a room and he's just like in a corner he's usually not in, it like freaks me out. And I'm like,
you make it seem like I'm like some creeper who hides in random corners.
No,
of the
because I'm
house.
thinking because recently, so you were pretending to hide because like I was walking upstairs with our daughter and I knew you were somewhere in the room pretending to hide.
I wasn't pretending to hide.
And
I
then
was hiding.
Yeah, but you
Big
were like.
difference.
Because the kid was there, you're like,
Yeah.
But I knew you were in there, and then you just said boo or something, and I screamed. I can't imagine just walking in and Mustache Man was there.
Hello.
Don't get me wrong. Yes, if you had this guy in your house, it would be creepy. But I don't know. I would probably wouldn't mind a robot butler.
I mean, I guess it'd make things a lot easier.
Have someone mow my lawn for me. Like wash the car, paint the house. I hate getting on a ladder. I don't want to get on a ladder. Have the robot do it. Have the robot break its neck.
I love how much you hate mowing the lawn.
Because it's mostly weeds and it just grows so dang fast.
We're not gardeners.
Yeah.
We should also get into the amazing music.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because there was one time that I had to turn off the music because I forget if it was like the hedge maze boss, but there was one point where I died a couple times and I was like, shut up. And I had to turn it off. But other than that, like there were times where the music just hit when you're in a battle scene.
I loved the soundtrack. So the composer who did the music, his name's Mick Gordon. He also did the Wolfenstein series, but he also did the Doom 2016 version. So he did the original Doom soundtrack. And so this guy obviously has very good musical chops. But he's also a very nice guy because, as we've kind of mentioned, the developers of this game are Russian. So with the whole war in Ukraine, this composer stated that, he's obviously against this war and he gave his entire earnings that he made from this game and he's giving it to the Red Cross for supporting the Ukraine. So the guy literally, got his entire paycheck and just donated it.
Where's he from?
Australia.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
But yeah, you definitely can hear kind of the Doom aesthetic. It's not like Doom of just like heavy guitar riffs and just metal, but it is a lot of electric kind of music, but it still has that bass to it. And like, yeah, every once in a while there'll be battle music. You know, anytime you usually play a game, you have battle music. It's the same battle music the entire game. Not in this. There's one where it was like an 8-bit techno that just hit so hard. I loved it. You know, there was one where it has like some Russian and chorus like singing in the background. So good. I loved the soundtrack. I highly recommend you wear a headset for this game. There's not always music, but when it does kick in, I felt like it was so good.
And even just the walking around music when you're like going through the houses,
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, the music will kick up and it'll be like a really like soft, beautiful song.
Yeah,
and,
radio kind of going.
Yeah.
Well, I like how
so,
they did use the radio of the future so they could kind of just do whatever they want with music. And
I
just,
kind of like that joke.
Okay.
Which I was trying to figure out. I thought it was going to be like, oh, radio of the future. And I thought they were actually going to play like music we're listening today.
It would have been kind of funny, but
yeah.
either
All of a sudden you hear like Cardi B going on or something.
okay, maybe that's too much. Madden will do that for you if you want to listen to Cardi B.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
But yeah, I didn't play as much with the headset as I would like to. But I liked, like the overall just environmental music of like when you go to the train station, it was just, I don't know, it felt fitting. It was like old timey, but it felt like at least what I, as an American, see as like stereotypical Russian. I don't really know if it's right or not, but you know, what we see of it and hear of it, it like felt like it fit. So I enjoyed it overall, and I thought the sound effects were good too. Like you said, like the actual melee fighting, like when you're chunking into robots, hitting metal on axe, or like when you'd fight like the
Mutants.
Yep, there you go. So yeah, like the sounds just like fit everything overall very well. I don't remember there being a lot of like background noises of like, I don't know, like there was nothing like robots
You more got background noise when you're outside.
Yeah,
with like the environment.
but even that I thought it was just more like almost like birds chirping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even, which is kind of a cool thing too. It's like a weird like everything's peaceful and calm, but the robots are murdering everything, but not the animals.
Animals are safe.
I thought I saw a chicken attacking a robot too one time, but that's
No, a chicken was eating a human.
maybe.
And that's where they kind of announced that the chickens were also evil.
No, I know, but I could have sworn at one point, like, and you guys were talking about it earlier, I know, but I swear at one point I saw it like go after a robot too, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
that reminded me of that really gross scene with the farm animals. And you blend them up. No, because I'm weird with meat. Like I try not to eat too much meat, and I was about to eat some chicken like right after that scene. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna play a little bit more, and then I'm gonna make a sandwich. And I was just like, oh no!
And you see you liquefy a bunch of animals.
Yeah,
Yep, and I was just like, yep.
I was gonna say because it wasn't really overly graphic, but if it's something you kind of have an aversion to already, then I can totally understand that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I
mean,
didn't think it was super graphic, so it didn't bother me too much.
It took joy out of it.
Liz, I don't know. I was trying to back you up, but you know, whatever.
I like you still clarified that though, Liz. Thank you. But if you are looking for the soundtrack, it is on Spotify, so there is the official soundtrack on Spotify. Nice. But achievements, the achievements overall in the game, though, I like what they are doing because there are some challenge ones like killing the hedge, as me and Keith said, killing the hedge boss, only using melee weapons, having him destroy everything. There's another boss that challenges you to only use melee weapons, but a lot of the achievements are for the most part pretty easy to get. You know, getting 25 headshots with a pistol, hitting 20 enemies with a car. So there's like these challenge ones, but at the moment they are bugged. I think there's 5 particular achievements that are bugged. One in particular is called Apple Pie, and you're supposed to collect all the apples in Limbo. And I thought it was just me. I'm like, I swear I got all the apples. There's 100 apples you're supposed to collect, but the achievement bugs at 86%.
That's what mine says, 86.
And that's what mine says. Mine says 86%. So at the moment, it is still bugged, which is annoying because there was a bug. There's an achievement to beat the game on hard difficulty, And there was a good bug where people were noticing that if you like beat the game on any difficulty, when you can change the difficulty at the very end and it'll give you the achievement for beating the game on hard. But they fixed that bug.
Oh, convenient.
Yeah, but they don't fix the apple pie achievement. Come on, guys.
The best part about the achievements is that me, Liz the Noob, is number 1 this week.
I saw that today.
Even after I just got an achievement?
Yep, because I knew that you were trying to get them really quick, and that's why I was like, Andrew, why don't you boot up the, no, because you know what?
That.
I mean, you stopped watching TV with me, so you could try
about?
to sneak by me. We were watching TV, and you trying to be sneaky. Anyways. So I had 285 out of 1,000, 17 out of 42 achievements. Andrew's second, 270 with 16 achievements. Put that in your juice box and suck it. And then Keith, 165 with 9 achievements.
But overall, I think I'd recommend this game for achievement hunters because it's, like I said, the achievements are very simple of just doing simple things. Some are missable, but like the apple pie one, like I said, which can be annoying because if you have to go back, like I said, you can't skip cutscenes. But if you play through this game all the way through, you'll probably get about 75% of the achievements. But yeah, get into final thoughts. So as I said, for me, this game isn't perfect. It definitely has a bit of its flaws. But, coming from the studio, as far as I saw, they have not done any other game. I absolutely dug this game. This was one of my most anticipated when they did the Xbox showcase. I've been waiting for Atomic Heart. I was, very excited this was coming day 1 on Game Pass. I think the melee combat is a ton of fun. The shooting in it is really nice. The environment is just top notch. I love the animation designs, the robot designs, the environment. The world is super cool. The music is absolutely top notch. The writing of the main character is just so bad, though. Like, I've noticed that, too, with a lot of people who gave this game a poor rating. They're like, this character is just so insufferable. I can't deal with him. And I do get it because I do think he's poorly written. Like, I describe this game as like, a high school group project. Bunch of the top students are, working on the project, but then the slacker student forgot that the project was due tomorrow and he had to write character dialogue and he's like, oh crap, I got to do something real quick, and just cobbled something together. To me, it was just so striking because everything in this game I felt like was so well made, but the writing for the main character is so crappy. But that to me was still something easily to ignore because I just had a ton of fun. I want to keep playing this game. I'm definitely going to beat it because this game really lived up for the moment for me. I love just the actual graphics of you hitting the enemies. You got to check it out. I'm going to give it a 90. If only the main character was a little bit better.
So, I mean, I don't remember really this from the Xbox showcase. I don't know. I forget things. So that's really probably why that happened. But I'm sure
it might have not been in the showcase. I just know they announced that it was day 1 Game Pass.
I have recollections of it being talked about, so I don't know. All I'd say is I didn't really know much about it, but I thought it was a lot of fun. I was happy to pick it up every time. I was trying to squeeze in as much time as I could on it. I think overall it's fun gameplay. I didn't try the hardest difficulty, but just playing through what I did on... Are you seriously clipping your nails while I'm... This is so disrespectful.
I was going to edit out the sound, Keith.
It's not about the sound. It is disrespectful that I have to watch that. You can keep this in, too.
Oh, well, sorry. You were falling asleep when I was doing my review.
Well, I do that every week. That's not new.
Sorry. Oh, so should I also do you of just constantly vaping?
Yes.
I have to edit that all the time.
I'm not talking about things we have to edit. I'm talking about what I have to watch.
Do you have a weird thing with people cutting or filing their nails? Because that is a thing where people are just I can't handle it.
Not really. It was just I just didn't expect to look up and see Andrew clipping his nails.
Oh no! I was okay.
It
I was
really
just
caught
curious.
me off guard. So Atomic Hearts. I really enjoyed my time with it. The biggest gripe, it's funny because I know the dialogue is not great, and not even from my typical I just don't care for story. I skip a lot of it. I didn't really care because I didn't think it was that bad. I just thought it was, I don't know. It was weird because it didn't. Sometimes it was cracking jokes, but sometimes it was serious. It was a bit all over the place, but I just wanted more fighting. That was really the biggest thing that I wanted. The puzzles were kind of cool. I didn't like the platforming. That was really my biggest drawback. But yeah, I think I was talking about the difficulty. Like, yeah, I think if you're even like an average gamer like myself, I think you could play on the hardest difficulty probably. Maybe I'm wrong, but give it a shot, I guess, and see what happens. So, yeah, I think a good 88. Yeah, 88.
And I'm going to give it a 91. I don't think that when it comes to the main character's dialogue and stuff, it doesn't really like come across as bad to me. But like I said, I know people who talk like that. Like,
Really, know a
so
lot of people that
aggressive.
say crispy critters.
Not crispy critters, but like a lot of him like swearing and freaking out on people.
I just hate that catchphrase.
Is that really just it? That like, but
it was so jarring every time he said it.
I mean, you are right. That was like the one part that I was just like, ugh. But I mean, I liked his character. I didn't really see a lot of what you guys were saying with like the whole like he seemed American thing and stuff. But I'm also very unobservant, so I mean, maybe that's on me. Looking at Metacritic for Series X, 72 and 6.4, Xbox One, TBD, and 6.5, and people give it zeros for like really weird reasons, like I said earlier about like the guy that won more sexy robots, and then this one
This guy that I would love that guy's review legitimately said want more sexy robots. The sexiest robot you gave me was a flirting fridge.
I mean, if you give them a game a 0 because the sexy robots don't have enough screen time, I mean, what does that mean? But somebody else who gave a 0 because they thought that the game was praising the Soviet Union and communism.
Definitely it's not.
And the banter back and forth, you see that there's definitely conversation that goes the other way, in my opinion. So the zeros are really weird. I definitely don't think it deserves a 0 for those robots, the ballerinas.
No, this game definitely is not like promoting Russian communism and stuff like that. Because I mean, it is like, that's what I talk about. I enjoyed the philosophy of it because with modern technology, we are automating a lot of our stuff. And that's what the game is kind of talking about with these robots. Like getting into a point in the future where majority of us won't have to work anymore because everything's just automated. So it's kind of an interesting topic. But I don't think it's promoting communism. But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
We've been talking for a long time about this game.
I know. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up here. If you have any game suggestions, please, we would love to hear them. You can email us at gamepassgrabbag@gmail.com or hit us up on our Facebook or Twitter at GBGBpod or message us on our YouTube channel or hit me up on Xbox Live at Firebird01952. We also love hearing from you all. We greatly appreciate all the support you guys give us. It really keeps us going. We have a lot of fun doing this. It's all because of you guys. So thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to us banter. But yeah, Keith, say something pointless.
Well, I was actually going to say something somewhat useful today, because I feel like you don't talk about it enough. Like you did create a Discord for our podcast, so I don't know if anybody wants to join it. I don't know what we could do with it yet. We still haven't figured that out, and that's why we haven't. But that's why I'm just going to say it. So maybe someone else knows what to do. Join it if you want. Let us know. We'll get you the invitation or whatever it needs to do.
We should do that more because it makes it easier to coordinate playing with people.
I mean, well, it's just that, or I don't know what you're supposed to do with the Discord from like a podcast, but sure, let's do it. Let's promote it and let's people join it. If you're looking for people to join, maybe find other friends that are other listeners, people who just like listening to us talk for some reason.
And I'm Liz the Noob, gamertag CommonMD, and I'm on Twitter at LizNoob, and Instagram, but it's hard because I don't have any pictures of just myself. I haven't had any for like 6 years or so. I've never taken a selfie, so you don't know that it's me, but it is Liz the Noob, Busy W. I know I need to put a picture on there, but I just like can't physically bring myself to put a selfie on there.
I wonder if people actually search Liz the Noob ZW as like one full thing, and they're like, what the heck? Why can't I find you?
That is something I would do. But maybe I should like figure out like a a picture that people would recognize or something. I don't know. No one's gonna follow me anyways, but yeah.
But you've been saying it for 4 years, and I respect that.
Yeah. You're the one.
That makes it sound
are the one
sad.
who's most consistent with your outro, Liz. You've nailed it.
Andrew's
you
got
have all the hard
weird
work.
CVS list that changes every week. Mine is just, I don't know, whatever trash I find on the ground that week. And Liz is consistent.
But I still have so much trouble saying mine, which is really sad.
And that's actually might be the best part about it.
That's why I say it really fast. If a stutter starts coming, I just...
Oh, I screw up. I feel like our intro all the time. To me, it's just like a garbled mess, and I'm just like, whatever. I just roll with it. But anyway, we're going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for joining. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Peace.